Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have something special down here at Birdland this evening.
Watch this.
You want a fresh style? Let me show you. Yeah.
I want you to listen to this one very carefully, you know.
Now jump up, all jungle screw. Rock on.
Now watch it.
Here it is. The tables are turning.
I wanna know how everybody's feeling.
Let your mind unwind.
We're gonna get funky.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's right, the station that makes you move and groove on a Thursday morning. It's Moving in the Right Direction Radio right here, right now, with your programmer and host, David James, on the MIC, and of course on the ones and twos on a Thursday morning, kicking things off this week with music from Armin van Helden, Mark Knight, D. Ramirez. Goes like this.
Funky
Yes, most definitely starting off with music from the legendary Armin van Helden, Mark Knight, and Dee Ramirez from the Tool Room record label. They've come out with some amazing stuff already for 2026. We've got a few more to play within the next 20 minutes or so. In the background right now from Phoenix Music, for speckling out to Mr. Andy Reid, this is Gabriel Ranucci, a track called Keep On. We have an incredible show planned today, including a special guest. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Very special guest out of Detroit, one of the bricklayers of the Detroit music scene. We have Mike Agent X Clark in the house. He'll be in town tomorrow night if you're listening live direct on the Thursday. Tomorrow night, Friday, Feb 20th at Aqua, going to be off the hook. We'll be spending the hour with him between 8 and 9 o'clock, playing some music, talking about the scene in Detroit, the future, past, and present of dance music. Mike Agent Clark X in the mix. Goes like this. Up next, this one has been doing major damage since its inception. The inception of this one, November of 2025. Rework of a Afro disco classic, Jingo. Jude and Frank with Toronto's own Manzone and Strong on the remix. Nice one, love this. We've been playing it quite a bit out in the clubs and also here in the station.
feeling. The feeling of your touch. As a matter of fact, I want more. More of your touch. Take me away with your touch. Oh yes! Make me feel so real, so good inside. Nothing compares to the feeling you give my body. So special. I can't stop the feeling. Can't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop the feeling. So real, so good inside. No, I can't stop.
Yes, absolutely brilliant on a Thursday morning. High energy, hands in the air house music, courtesy of Who. A track called Can't Stop, brand new release on Tool Room Recordings. Speaking of Who, he'll be in town this Saturday night at the Wiggle Room. Definitely catch this rare appearance with that disco house feel. Feel good music. Much needed these days, that's for sure. Coming up next, we got music from Sean Miller, going back to 2020. With Jolski on the remix. Drum and bass crew, hold tight. We got stuff for you coming up. As I mentioned at the top of the show, our special guest this week, he'll be at Aqua tomorrow night, Friday night. Mike, Agent X Clark. He'll be spending the hour with us. We'll be playing lots of music, some electro, some house music, and chatting about the Detroit scene and so much more. 8 to 10 o'clock if you're listening live direct on a Thursday. We're moving.
música. Una forma un poco onírica mía de decir que la música es el único arte que nos acompaña siempre, desde antes de nacer hasta que nos meten en la caja de madera. La poesía, la pintura, la literatura van llegando con el tiempo, pero la música empezamos a crearla con nuestros corazones aproximadamente en la cuarta semana en que ya somos.
Up next, we have music from Jimmy Polo, Michael Gray, just released on Tool Room once again. They're putting out amazing stuff for 2026 already. It's only been a few weeks. Better Days, name of the track, of course, reworking the 1989 classic, absolute classic house music anthem, warehouse anthem. Back at it again, that feel-good music in the place on a Thursday morning. My name is David James. We rock your radio. We get you up to get down from Buffalo to Barrie, Cobra to Kitchener, CIUT.FM worldwide, iHeartRadio worldwide. Goes like this. Yes, most definitely reworked for 2026. Michael Gray, Jimmy Polo, Better Days, once again released originally on a 12-inch vinyl in 1989. Check that out. Timeless music. Speaking of Better Days UK returns off the heels of their 3 years in a row anniversary reunion. April 2nd, mark that date in your calendar. Going to be massive. Better Days reunion once again, part 4. Going to be bigger, better than ever. Original rave crew, where you at? Mark April 2nd on your calendar. Better Days reunion returns to Toronto. Up next, we're going to shift gears into a drum and bass mode. This is Control, Breakridge, Rico Dan. Drum and bass action just for you on a Thursday. Shifting gears goes like this.
All right. Sing again, ride the rhythm, you know we're full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we're full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we're full of stamina. Personality and character. Ride the rhythm, you know we're full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we're full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we full of stamina. Personality and character. Yes, I be. Yes, I me, yes, I me, yes, I me. Everyone come in a competition with me. Yes, I me, yes, I me, yes, I me. Competition with me. Yes, I me, yes, I me, yes, I me. Everyone come in a competition with me. Mix it up on the rhythm with the art. I got it, them put on the bottom. Me nothing can call nobody. Ride the rhythm, you know we full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we full of stamina. Personality and character. Ride the rhythm, you know we full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we full of stamina. Ride the rhythm, you know we full of stamina. Personality and character. Yes, I be.
Listening to Moovin in the Right Direction Radio on 89.5 FM in Toronto.
Full of stamina, personality and character. Yes, I be. Yes, I me, yes, I me, yes, I me. Everyone come in a competition with me. Yes, I me, yes, I me, yes, I me. Competition with me. Yes, I me, yes, I me, yes, I me. Everyone come in a competition with me. Mix it up on the rhythm with the art. I got it, them put on the bottom. Me nothing can call nobody. Full of stamina.
Big tune to kick off our drum and bass section of the program. Breakridge, Rico Dan, Control up next. Brand new music coming from Harriet Jackson and Jolie P. Up next.
Inside my head that feeds the pain. Feeling something different, something sweeter every day. Sugar in the summer, something salty in the rain. I've been me, I'm still me, but I've grown in my ways. Do I even wanna leave? Now you're asking me to stay. I know that I know nothing, all I know is that I've changed. Do you wanna find me asking, would you even do the same? But I remember all my friendships, relationships I didn't want to end yet. My future, past and present, nothing even matters, cause I can't live anymore if I'm in hell or I'm in heaven. I remember all my friendships, relationships I didn't want to end yet. My future, past and present, nothing even matters, cause I can't live anymore if I'm in hell or I'm in heaven.
You're listening to Moovin in the Right Direction Radio on 89.5 FM in Toronto.
I was sort of slipping in the mental, sliding off the tracks. I thought there's no one I can vent to. And Harriet, she sent me through this instrumental. And rave's got me tired, so I'm gonna take it gentle and take it easy. Kinda laid back and kinda steezy. Storm Dennis kinda breezy. Kinda beans, eat your greens, G. But I'm not talking about no weed, B. But I remember all my friendships, relationships I didn't want to end yet. My future, past and present, nothing even matters, cause I can't live anymore if I'm in hell or I'm in heaven. I remember all my friendships, Relationships I didn't want to end yet. My future, past and present, nothing even matters, cause I can't live anymore if I'm in hell or I'm in heaven.
Going back 11 years to 2015, a little classic here from Echo and Sidetrack, a track called Alone Without You featuring Samantha M's on the remix.
I can't stay here. I can't stay here without you. Can't leave here alone. Follow me to these places we've not dreamed of yet. I'm afraid to be alone without you alone.
You're listening to Moving in the Right Direction Radio on 89.5 FM in Toronto.
Brilliant piece of work there coming from Alex Perez, track called False Promises. Up next, going back a few years from Misguided Soundtracks for Illegal Recreation from McCannis Music record label. This is Canada's own Johnny Rolodex, track called Take Me Back. Up next.
Bad selector, teach people something about music.
Top-notch quality on a Thursday morning coming from John Rolodex. Track called Take Me Back. Up next, going back to year 2021, I believe, a re-edit, reworked series of tracks from Ronnie Size. It's a Jazz Thing, Utah Jazz remix right here, right now. Yes, most definitely. So nice on a Thursday morning. Ronnie Size, the Jazz Sting Utah Jazz remix. Coming up next, we got a Juno nominee and a Juno winner collaborating on this track, released at the end of 2025. It's called Mirror. We played it a few times on the show. Speaking of the Junos, we'll start our road to the Juno series in a couple of weeks, featuring nominees from the electronic music and underground dance music categories. Hold tight for that.
Before I do anything, baby, show me where you are. Not just a test. I look in the mirror, I see everything, so I know I'm not imagining. It's not always not over. Look in the mirror, see your eyes. Asking a question, tell me lies. Look in the mirror, see your eyes. Asking a question, tell me lies. The light is falling. Feel everything. Hear you moaning. Catch my eye. Look at you one more time. It's not bad. Bad to see you go. Look in the mirror, see your eyes. Asking a question, tell me lies. Look in the mirror, see your eyes. Asking a question, tell me lies. It's like to see what is unfolding. Around and around the mental mind. Let the music take over. 내가 손가락으로 셀 수 없을 만큼 생각이 넘쳐 흐르는 이 말이 좀 어떻게 좀 해줘봐요. 이 말이 좀 어떻게 좀 해줘봐요. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 내가 손가락으로 셀 수 없을 만큼 생각이 넘쳐 흐르는 이 말이 좀 어떻게 좀 해줘봐요. 이 말이 좀 어떻게 좀 해줘봐요. Look in the mirror, see your eyes. Asking a question, you tell me lies. Look in the mirror, see your eyes. Asking a question, you tell
Yes, we're back at it for hour number 2. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, live direct on a Thursday if you're tuned into 89.5 CIUT.FM. My name is David James. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll be spending the next hour or so with Mike, Agent X Clark, who's in town tomorrow night for Disco Chips, also featuring Baroness, Zoe Thorne, Mars Bars, and so many more down at the Aqua Supper Club down the CNE grounds. For more information and tickets, check out the Move Right Direction Facebook page. Mike is a complete legend in the game, and we had an opportunity to hang out with him for about an hour or so, talk about music, talking about his ambassadorship of Detroit music, and so much more. Once again, he's at Aqua tomorrow night, not to be missed, making a somewhat of a rare appearance. Has performed here back in the day quite often, but recently not so much, and so I think it's going to be an amazing event down at the Aqua Supper Club, CNE grounds tomorrow night. Mike, Agent X Clark at Aqua as part of Disco Chips.
I'm one of the original guys. I'm not one of the ones that made the records, but when it came to the history of Detroit, you're looking at, people know the Belleville Three, Juan, Derek, and all the above. So when that whole movement was taking place, and this is some more history that people don't really, if you know, but if you weren't there, you'll kind of notice how the history is rubbing us totally out of it. But Chicago and Detroit was together before House. Before House. You know, we were all DJing together. They had a radio station called WBMX and another radio station called WGCI. They were, pretty much full with DJs doing the hot mixes and blends and tricks and stuff like that. Meanwhile, we were doing the same thing, Jeff Mills was doing his thing, Derek was doing his thing, and I had my thing. We all was doing our shows. So there was, and I'm gonna rub this other history in it too. The whole thing about how, the drum machine revolution, which kicked off everything. This is what kicked that off. I was in the DJ contest. It was me, a guy named Kevin Dysart, Detroit DJ, and Ray Berry. We belonged to this group called Direct Drive, which was a subsidiary of Charivari, if you know Todd Johnson, who does that thing. So, yeah. So years ago, back when he ran the DJ team, that was Direct Drive. Juan and Derek and Kevin, Kevin wasn't in the group yet. Juan and Derek and Eddie and all those guys, they had formed their DJ team, which was called Deep Space. Juan Atkins had eventually joined the team. And one of the things that he had to contribute was obviously, his sound. He was Cybertron. Cybertron started in like 80, 81. So when they were trying to build a name for themselves, they were going through, battling different DJ groups because, we talking high school. We were all like 10th, 11th grade, 12th grade. And at the contest, Juan connected his drum machine to the mixer. Now, this was 83, and we didn't know what a drum machine was at the time. We was just really getting our turntablism on. No one was making music. Juan was in a group that was making, techno. And this was during a period where we called New Wave, so techno was just a sound that came out through him with his, Cybertron group. So basically, when they had the drum machine in the DJ contest, when they used it, it was the pivoting point that began everything that we have now. When I say that, meaning when he pressed play on the drum machine in the middle of the set, again, we didn't know what it was. It was a box that had some lights running across it, and we just thought it was maybe some kind of data recorder or something. When he was playing the drum tracks and he took the needle off the records and we recognized the drum machine was playing by itself, in a long story, into the contest, everybody wanted one.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted a drum machine. And that was the beginning of the drum machine revolution. So, when everybody talks about the drum machine revolution, that was what kicked it off.
And that's almost like, a hybrid live performance in some ways in the early days.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because, no one saw it coming, because it was just, again, it was just a lot of battles and DJ tricks and turntablism. So the drum machine was, at the time, just an addition to that. We had 3 turntables going, little sampler, we hitting on our little sampler, and we got our drum machine going. And, we was doing this literally before all that, before it became a trend. It was just part of the DJ thing. And, that was the one thing that kind of kicks off the ambassador name. And then there's the other thing. With me being a DJ in Detroit, I started going to Chicago, developed a relationship with the Hot Mix 5 guys and WGCI guys, you know, the DJs, the turntablisms. So I was going back and forth, and this was, again, before house music really was prevalent. So I got there, we was already using our drum machines with our turntables and stuff like that. And while I was there, the whole house music record thing came. Now I should explain that one too, because if you wasn't there, you can see the whole revolution of how it started. And basically, that was a thing where, let me see, we was going back and forth DJing. I would go to Chicago and DJ. The Chicago DJs would come to Detroit to DJ. There was this one DJ contest, Chicago versus New York. Africa Bambaataa and Jazzy J against Bad Boy Bill and
Oh wow.
Julian Jumping Perez. And when he told me, Julian Perez, he told me what he was going to do at the contest. And you familiar with that record, Capricorn, I Need Love, that classic track?
Yeah.
Okay, so, we're going back then. So I'm on the phone with Julian Perez, and he's talking about, yeah, man, I'm getting ready for this contest. And one of this trick I'm working on, I'm going to have the vocal version of Capricorn. And when she says she's so blind, I'm going to start repeating it. And then when I repeat it, I'm going to handcuff my hands behind my back and put a mask on my face. So that's why I'll be doing it blind. So when she says she's so blind, I'm going to do the Stevie Wonder backwards. I looked up, he started doing She's So Blind, and went behind his back doing it, and then somehow pulled these handcuffs, and then started doing it with the handcuffs behind his back. But before he did that, he put the blind on, and then he started doing the Stevie Wonder going, She's So Blind, She's So Blind. So he accomplished it, you know what I'm saying? And that day, I met Africa Bambaataa and Jazzy J. They invited me to New York. Now, this is again before House. They was doing electro and progressive.
Mid-80s, maybe-ish?
Yeah, it was 84, 83, 84. It was that whole crucial period. So I started going to New York, and I originally went there through Africa Bambaataa. So I met all those guys, Chep Nunez, that whole electro crew. There was so many of them. And then, the hip hop thing was going on as well. So they had all these little clubs out there. So for me, it was, I was known as that little kid from Detroit that was going to Chicago and New York. And, it was before people was traveling on regular. So I kind of had this little special thing to myself because, wasn't nobody traveling at the time. So I would go to New York, hang out at the clubs. They would lace me up with some records because as a DJ, hitting the record labels and the record stores. And that's a guy from Detroit. He works in a radio station, lace him up. So I'd always get a ton of records out of New York, a ton of records out of Chicago. And, basically that whole scene as it turned into house and started developing itself into this whole thing, Detroit, Chicago was such a regular base that once everything started kicking in, as far as people traveling, I was one of the first ones. I'm not the first, but I'm one of the first ones to travel.
So you really got soul. Are you ready? Now let's go. House is rocking, don't stop it. You gotta rock it, don't stop. Keep ticking and talking, working all around the clock. Everybody keep rocking and clocking and shocking and rocking. Go house, everybody say rocking, don't stop it. Mr. Biggs. Wow. L-O-B-E. The Soul Sonic. There is such a place that creates such a melody. Our work is by the plan of a master jam. Get up and dance, time to chase your dreams. I'm about to see you make your body sway. So should I get down? Let your soul lead the way. Shake it now, go ladies. It's a living dream. Love like everybody say rockin', don't stop it. Everybody say shockin' and clockin'. Everybody say East Meets Sun Street. Say Planet Rock. It's the short shot. Say Planet Rock. It's the short shot.
Toronto was one of my earlier trips. I did a gig in Toronto that David Bowie came to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a trip. It was me, Terrence Parker, Theo Parrish, Abacus. Forgot who else. Somebody else. But, it was a great party. And David Bowie came to town to shoot a video. And I knew he was in town because my boy from there worked for Virgin UK. He was one of the guys when I get in town I wanted to see him. His name was Russ. And ironically, after Russ took David Bowie around, he had a date with his girlfriend at the time. So he told David Bowie to come to the club where I was spinning at, and when he does, let him know that he can't come.
Yeah. So
You can imagine, I'm in the middle of doing my set, and somebody whispers, "Hey, David Bowie's in the building." So everybody else is freaking out because they didn't know. Meanwhile, I'm like, "Oh, cool, he came." And they like, "What, you knew he was coming?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my boy, and I explained the whole situation. So after I finished spinning, he took me back, and me and him, we talked. It was way interesting because one thing I can say about David Bowie, he's an icon.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he was such a real person.
Yeah.
I literally got into a 30-minute conversation with him, and we just kind of was shooting. He really likes electronic music, and I was telling him how I did not know he was a white guy until I saw him on Soul Train in the early '70s, singing Fame, And we actually got cool. As a matter of fact, he came to Detroit several months later to do a show and requested that I open up for him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know what my fate would have been if I did open up for him, but I was in Switzerland at the time, because by this time the whole traveling thing had started, and Switzerland was one of my, another one of my early spots. And I literally got a call, I think it was Derek May or Carl Craig, one of the two. It might have been both. Matter of fact, when I think about it, they both of them called, as well as this club owner. I was spinning at this club called Motor. And they always trying to reach me because David was in town, and he specifically requested for me to open up for him, and no one knew where I was at because I was out of town.
I mean, you've been around for, you have a lot of stories, you've been around for a while. How does that influence your DJ sets? So when coming to Toronto or playing across the U.S., do you mix things up a little? Do you kind of dive into some electros, techno house, kind of Detroit style, soulful house? How does that work for you?
Well, for me, I try to keep it well-rounded because again, being old, I was trying to represent Detroit out here. So it was representing Detroit house music. You know, I do techno as well, as you know, Underground Resistance and all the above. But one of the things that I've always tried to emphasize was the Detroit house, the funk, and the sound. Reason being is, you know, going back to our stories about all that stuff that happened the early days. Detroit got shafted when it came to the house music scene. We got shafted when it came to getting our propers as DJs. Detroit, as you know, when they talk about house music, when they talk about the history, New York and these other places, they put themselves in a position to rub elbows with Chicago. So you'll hear pretty much house music started in Chicago with the influence of Frankie Knuckles from New York, blah, 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 this, that, and the other, blah. But they don't talk about the real history, because if they did, then they would talk about what I just told you. Because basically, how this whole history went, Detroit and Chicago was DJing together. Detroit and Chicago started doing the drum machine revolution together. Detroit and Chicago started making records together. You know, you'll see some Bad Boy Bill and Hitman mixes on KMS. You know, you'll see all the history that proves the Chicago-Detroit relation. And there was a magazine in San Francisco called Accelerator. And Accelerator decided to define house music and techno. They had, I'll never forget, it was a magazine that has Mark Kitchen and Elena on the front. And it says, the difference between house music and techno. And their defining points was the standards of today. When people think of house music, they think it is soulful, musical, sometimes vocally, instrumental type situation. Which, yeah, okay, cool, we go with that. And then techno. Techno is this tribal sounding, mostly instrumental, or, you know, at most, you know, a lot of electronic, forward sounding, not so much funky or whatever. But, you know, let's just cut to the chase and be real. When techno was made by Juan and Derek and everyone, everything we did, we had our vocals, we had our music, we had everything in there. It was other places that started picking up on our routine, like Berlin. You know, Berlin was heavy into our sound. And when I was in Underground Resistance, the people in Germany literally came to our place and looked at what we had and bought the same equipment and recreated the same studios that we had. And once they did that, they started making their own techno. they totally forgot that Detroit is the home of Motown, funk, Aretha Franklin. Everything funky, soulful, gospel, jazz, everything that comes out of Detroit, they did not write in that article. And because of that, you have this confusion that even today still happens. People come to Detroit and they expect to have this Berlin experience.
Yeah.
Then they come to Detroit and they see this urban, pretty much a black city.
Yeah.
And they get confused, because they didn't realize that, for some reason, Detroit is this black city that does funk and Motown and soulful shit. But in the world of house, we're Berliners. So, we never got a chance to rectify that because, basically, again, when you look at everything that's going on right now, people still adopt that ideology. As a matter of fact, when it comes to techno, they reduced us to Detroit techno because everyone else is using the term techno. So we don't own it no more. We just are a portion of it. And when it comes to the house scene, again, shit, you can look at any magazine, any history given by people outside of Chicago, and you will see Detroit ain't got shit to do with no one.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the part that, that keeps me in that area of like, I gotta promote Detroit soulful funk. This is the sound that we play at home. When you come to Detroit, you're gonna hear, and then again, this, when you hear us playing, like, there's a lot of people that move to Detroit so they could get that Detroit techno experience, but they're not from here, so they have more of a Berlin type sound. So you have an X amount of people that plays techno coming out of Detroit, and you'll notice it has that German sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, we have cats like, Los Hermanos, Underground Resistance, myself and the other ones. When we do ours, we do what we do. We put our soul and funk in it. And, we put it out and do our thing. But, it never changes anything. It still puts us in this little area where we're in this little box. But, long story short, that's one of the reasons why, when I play, I always try to push, the funk, the soul, because, if not, then I'm not really representing Detroit. And when people come to me with Detroit, first thing he says, like, hey man, Jeff Mills, Underground Resistance, techno, 140 BPMs. And I'm looking at him like, no.
In the house club. In the house club. In the house club. Pop, up and down, pop, up and down, pop, up and down, pop. In the house club. Tipping up. In the house club. We got Agent X on the table, driving them nuts. In the house club. Who knows what can happen? In the house club. With music like this. In the house club. I'm gonna ease over and get my Long Island. I like my Long Island, 2 lemon wedges on it, And as I'm trying to lead the dance floor, I'm looking at your heat. In the house club. The dance floor is a heartbeat, and the dance floor is lit in the house club. In the house club. And I'm looking back, and I'm looking back, and I'm right back on the dance floor in the house club. And I'm right back on the dance floor again. This beat is so deep, it just drew me back, I can't leave. In the house club. All I can say is that contribution that you're giving to this music in the house club, that the love that you're showing by the hands raised up tonight in the house club. Raise them up, people. Raise them up. Let them know you like house. In the house club. See, house music is the ambassador to peace. The love of house music brought nations together in the house club. I have seen people on the floor dancing in the house club. They didn't even know they liked each other, but it was the house music brought them together. Think about what I'm saying. Think deep. Deep is the ambassador of peace in the house club. In the house club. In the house club. Up, down, up, down, up, down, in the house club.
What I do is I'll come into a club, you know, it's out of town. I usually like to come in a day ahead of time so I can get the vibe of the city, get to know the people, talk to what's going on, and then, you know, come to the club early. I like to come in and hear the DJ's vibe. You know, I'm not one that really wants to come in 5 minutes before I got a DJ and just do me.
Yeah.
You know, because before I represent a sound, I'm a DJ first. So, you know, I want to feel the crowd. I want to feel what's going on. I want to see where do I fit in with this atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that way I can come in and, you know, do me, and it won't be so thrown off, you know, because it'll be similar to what's happening. And it also keeps the versatility up. You know, I might do a deep, soulful, funky set, or I may do like a harder, you know, set, you know, depending. You can go anywhere from techno to, it just goes in a lot of different directions, you know, at the end of the day. You know, like I always said, you know, we get our records, we subcategorize and put them where they need to be. And then when it's time to play, we look at the crowd and we figure out what they're into, what's making them dance, and based on what's making them move, makes my decision on what I'm gonna play.
Yeah, makes sense. Who are you excited about with some of the up and coming Detroit producers in music right now? Is there anyone that you have your eye on? Is there anyone that reminds you of you or back in that day, that kind of evolution? Anything that's fresh coming out that you're excited about?
Well, Marcus Harris is one of my partners. He's like my little brother. I call him that because he's we're both Capricorns. We both workaholics. He's actually Quentin Harris's younger brother.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's Quentin Harris' younger brother.
Yeah.
But me and him, you know, we kicked it off, you know. So basically, you know, he's one of the ones that I'm doing stuff with. He's making big moves now.
Yeah, it's gonna be really exciting to have you back. I know people are pretty pumped up about it. Mike, thanks so much for spending time with us this morning, and really looking forward to playing some of your music this morning. And thanks for the conversation. And we'll catch up with you Friday night on February 20th here in Toronto.
Yes. I look forward. Thank you guys so much for bringing me down. Like I said, it's been a very long time since I've been there, so I'm looking forward. There's a bunch of people out there that I'm looking forward to seeing. Ron Allen and the girls I'm playing with. Mark Quell's my lawyer, but he's not going to be in town. Yeah, he's not going to be in town, unfortunately. So he's not going to be there. But I'm hoping to see everybody. Abacus and Ray. I can name all kind of people, but y'all know Gene. It's so many people. And it's family. It's family oriented because. That was the thing about Canada. When I met Ron Allen and those guys when we first started Underground Resistance, we came to Toronto to do a show, and Ron was passing his records out, and we just met everybody up in there. So we've always just kept up.
You've been listening to the sounds and conversation with Mike Clark over the last hour or so. We're moving in the right direction radio on a Thursday morning, and I hope you're feeling all right. Mike Clark, an absolute agent in the scene in town. Tomorrow night, Friday night, an agent, a legend, and so much more. Mike Clark in town at Aqua tomorrow night. Get your tickets in advance as part of Disco Chips, also featuring the likes of Baroness, Zoe Thorne, and many more. Mars Bars, of course. Aqua down on the CNE grounds. Beautiful location. Get your groove on. Copy up shortly. We're going to bang things out for the last hour of the program. Some techno music for you. We're moving in the right direction on a Thursday morning.
In the house club. In the house club. Up and down. Up and
Keep on living, look. Keep on living, look.
You're listening to Moving in the Right Direction Radio on 89.5 FM in Toronto.
For someone just to hold, I'm right here beside miss you all the time. Want you tight, be there for you. Want you all the time. I miss you all the time. When the storm is raging, I got you. When your faith is fading, I got you. Oh, when you feel alone, still got you. Just know I'm holding on. Never letting go.
The sounds of Marcos Martinez, a track called I Got You, the Kuna Tribe vocal remix. Love it, love it. Been busting this one out all over the city. Up next, speaking of amazing music, this is Ron Allen, Cross the Line. Jana Renee on the vocals. Lovely here, and big shout out to the Strobe crew and Strobe Records 35-year anniversary last weekend. Strobe Fest, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was off the hook. In particular, Saturday Revival, full house in effect. Music was primo. Can't ask for anything more. Hope to see it back next year. This will take us to 9 o'clock if you're listening live direct on a Thursday morning, after which we'll come back on the other side. We're going to really get hard with our techno. Yeah, you know how we do it. We're moving in the right direction. Buffalo Berry, Copeland, Kitchener, 89.5. Online, CIUT.FM. Online, iHeartRadio on the international line.
Velvet colors and
Touching down for hour number 3 right here, right now. Live on a Thursday morning, it's Moving the Right Direction Radio, kicking off with a track from the Adana Twins called Drive, going back to 2014. Don't worry, we're going to tech things up as we move along during this last hour of the program. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Respect going out to Mike, Agent X Clark, for joining us this morning from Detroit. He's in town tomorrow night if you're listening live and direct on a Thursday, Feb 20th at Aqua, down by the lakeshore. Zini Grounds. Once again, the Adana Twins, track called Drive featuring Khan, 2014. Goes like this.
To a better love.
Up next, we have music from Guy Barone, Jenner, and Glenn Morrison. A couple of Canadians collaborating on this one. We played it last week. Bring it back so nice. We gotta do it twice. Week number 2. Before that, we heard music from the Adana Twins. Relatively new. Back into it.
Quit that messing around. Baby, 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 slow. I need you to slow down.
The sounds of Sinka and Mon Blairy, a track called Don't Depend on Bedrock, of course, John Digweed's legendary label. Up next, brand new music this week released, fresh out of the box from Simon Doty, track called Re-Up with Gio Luca on the remix. A little different sound from Simon. Quite digging it though. A little edgy, a little tougher, a little rougher. As we pick up the BPMs on a Thursday morning. Coming up over the next couple weeks, special guest Dave Clark out of the UK will be here. Sensational. Cannot wait for that one. Interview. We'll be playing some music. Of course, he's in town. Coming up very shortly. More details next week. sounds of Pleasure Funk on a Thursday morning. A track called Untitled One, white label bootleg. Up next, Toronto's own, Canada's own, Juno winner, Great Gal. He'll be performing alongside Dave Clark in a few weeks. More details shortly on that. This one features Great Gal in collaboration with QB Productions Canada, Stormy and Me. The Great Gal remix, yeah? Still to come in a few minutes. Sarah Sims in the house. How's Las Vegas doing? Sarah Sims' brand new track on her label Symmetry Sounds from DJ Scent out of Detroit, coming up very shortly. Hold tight. my picks of the week, no doubt about it. Gonna be playing this one all over the place. This is from Valera Unosunova, track called Fusion. Up next, as we continue on our minimal techno little trip here, we got Blue Hour, track called The Chase. Yes, we're feeling good on a Thursday morning as we wind down the show. Don't worry, we're going to slow down the tempo just a little bit. Big respect going out to Detroit Sensation, the ambassador of Detroit house music, electronic music. Mike, Agent X Clark, for joining us in the last hour. We certainly hung out with him in the studio and chatted about all kinds of great things, plus played some music. Yeah, of course. Up next, as promised, DJ Scent, track called Get Your Whistle. A brand new release forthcoming on the Symmetry Sounds label March 6th. Respect going out to Sarah Sims for the hookup on this one. Hope Vegas is treating you well. As a protege of the late K Hand, DJ Scent's sound is steeped in the authentic Detroit house history. The Heritage DJ Scent was recently honored the 2025 Respect Architects exhibit at the Movement Festival in 2025. giving her respect to her contributions to the Detroit electronic music community. Once again, DJ Scent, track called Get Your Whistle, brand new, coming out March 6th on Symmetry Sounds.
Everybody, get your whistle out. 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 Every time you hear the whistle blow.
An absolute stormer on a Thursday morning. Hope you're enjoying this program, in particular this track. Love it, love it, love it. Another pick of the week. A couple this hour, that's for sure. This is called Anthony. This is See Me by Anthony Papa and Leo Wood. Flux Play. Track once again called See Me with Leo Wood on the vocals. Coming up next as we just slow things down before 10 o'clock in the morning if you're listening live direct on a Thursday. On 89.5 CIUT, we have music from La Roz, a track called Cars. I think you'll know this one. Yes, most definitely. What a great way to end the program. Coming up at 10 o'clock if you're listening live direct on a Thursday, Democracy Now! Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Stay safe. We're back here 7 to 10 a.m. every Thursday morning. We're moving in the right direction radio. CIUT 89.5 FM.